And welcome back to the Outdoors and Art Radio Show on WRVO Radio. I'm Blake Almer, the show's host, and we're actually out here in the outdoors. We want you to get that full effect of the outdoors so you get to enjoy that real outdoor radio show, the Outdoors and Art. And so with us today, we have our new co-host, Dean Colson. Dean Colson is a good friend of mine. So Dean, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Blake. I appreciate you for inviting me out here. So I've... like you said, we go to church together, and appreciate you for asking me to come on the show. I have a lovely wife and 6 kids, and my career is I'm a senior manager in application development, and right now just enjoying the outdoors and with you on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Dean. Thanks for coming on here. So he'll be our new co-host, hopefully from this day forward. And so I appreciate Dean coming on the show. And now today we have somebody on the line, somebody new, somebody that's really special in my life. He's done a lot for me. Byran May. Byran May is the founder of Cincy Fisher Baits. You may have heard him on the radio show before. He has a commercial with his business there. And so, Byran, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, Blake, it's a pleasure being on your show today, and thanks for the invite.
No problem.
Like Blake said, I'm Byran May. I have a small tackle building company called Cincy Fisher Baits. But more importantly, I love anything outside. I love fishing especially, and I fish a couple times a week during the summer, and I fish every chance I get, and I just love it. And I love introducing young people to fishing too. So
definitely,
I just love everything about being outside.
Yeah, the outdoors is absolutely awesome. More young people need to get out in the outdoors these days. It's something that we all need to do. It's just the creation of God's absolutely amazing. And so I appreciate Byran coming on the show, and thanks for coming.
So Byran, you were talking about you like to introduce young people to fishing. So can you tell us the story that this time you took Blake fishing for the first time and how it influenced Blake?
Yeah, gladly. So I've been volunteering with my church's teen camp. Every summer we spend a week out in Indiana, and my job is basically fishing guide for the week. And I'm always trying to get some young folks to get out and experience fishing. So about 3 years ago, I took Blake out fishing. I'm not even sure I knew it was his first time, but we went out and we caught crawdads, and we caught all kinds of fish, bluegill and bass, and just had a great time. And I didn't know it was going to have a profound effect on his life, of course. I was just trying to introduce a kid to fishing.
That's great.
Yeah, Byran here, he's the guy that got me into all this. I've brought him up a couple times before. And yeah, I remember quite well. I remember it was a few years back, and I didn't like to go swimming in the pool with all the other teenagers, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And Byran was like, hey, Blake, you want to come fishing with me? And I was like, yeah, I'll go fishing. It sounds cool. And so I went fishing, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And from that moment on, fishing led me into the next outdoor pursuit, to trapping, to hunting, to survivalism. And so I just spent thousands of hours just learning how to be a better outdoorsman, just enjoying the outdoors. Just today I was learning how to baton wood with a knife today. I've done it before, but I'm just getting better and better at it. And so it's all because of that one moment that Byran took me out fishing, and it all started from there. And so, Byran, I really do appreciate your effect in my life and making me an outdoorsman. Now that's my career. And so I never, if you asked me 3 years ago, hey, Blake, do you know that you're going to be an outdoor writer one day and a radio show host? I think you're nuts. I'd be like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a crazy little dude. And so I cannot believe what it influenced in my life. And so it's just something that I'd love to do. And so Byran, we got a few survival questions for you. And so you like to fish a lot. So now, what is the most important skill in survival fishing? How and why?
Well, survival fishing is a lot like recreational fishing. The most important thing is finding fish. You have to find fish that you can catch. Now, in a survival situation, you're looking for probably small fish because they're easier to catch and more reliable to catch.
Definitely.
So I would look for creeks and shallow water, logs, rocks. That's where those small bluegill are going to be around. And you got to be quiet. You got to have some stealth when you got to kind of sneak up on them a little bit.
Definitely.
So, I would recommend using light line, small hooks, just lightweight, because you're really after those small fish, and they got great eyesight in that clear water, so you got to be healthy for them.
Definitely. And survival fishing is one of the most effective ways to collect food and within this survival situation. I've seen a lot of things on the internet. I carry fishing line, a hook, and a sinker in my survival kit. I'd recommend that for every outdoorsman and survivalist. And but one of these cool things I saw on the internet, and what happened, I saw some guy, I think it was like Interactive Angler or something, and he was wearing this paracord survival bracelet, and he said inside this paracord survival bracelet I have fishing line, I have a sinker, and a hook all embedded within it. You can't see it, and so from the time I need it, I got it right on my wrist. And so I thought that was something cool. You can make that homemade, nice and easy. And so now when it comes to survival fishing, obviously I'm not going to have artificial bait with me unless I decide to put that in my survival kit. But how do you collect the live bait? Because that's your only option you got. How do you catch live bait in a survival situation?
Well, there's a few different ways you can go about doing this. Generally, I would count on catching worms and crawfish by hand. Now, you can build fancy traps, but if you're in a survival situation, you may have to, look under some logs or some rocks, move away some leaves, try to find some red worms. Sometimes in the summertime, they're hard to find, so you might have to look around in the water, move around some rocks, especially those big flat rocks. Crawfish love to be under those flat rocks, and, you just have to sneak up on them and grab them by the back just behind the pinchers and catch them by hand. And you really don't need that many if you're looking for bait. If you're looking for a crawfish meal, that's a different story, and maybe that's a different show. But I would catch the bait by hand, and most of the time you'll be able to find plenty of bait for survival fishing.
Definitely. Catching them by hand is an easy and effective way to do it. Specifically if you find like a creek nearby, or even you can go just on the shore of a lake or a body of water and just lift up rocks and just stick your hand in there and find a crawdad. And yeah, they do pinch. Sometimes it hurts, but it's worth it as far if you get hurt and then you catch yourself some food, so definitely worth that. And crawdads is probably one of the most easiest baits as far as in the water to catch in a survival situation. Looking under leaves and rocks and logs, you can get some worms and even other small insects down there that you can use for fishing. And in fact, I have this book called Harvesting Nature's Bait Shop. I wrote that a few years back. In fact, when Brian introduced me to the outdoors, I actually I didn't see you for about 2 years. I think it was. I didn't get to tell you how much it impacted in my life. I didn't have I didn't have Facebook or nothing, so I couldn't get a hold of you, and so I didn't get to tell you how much impact had in my life. But I saw your daughter one day, and I happened to have a copy of my book with me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this to his daughter, and so she can give it to Brian, and just realize how much it impacted me. And so for the guys that don't know, I started off writing books, and that's where it all started from. So Harvesting Nature's Bait Shop was my third book, and so I got to give that to Brian. So that was his first book he saw by me, and that's really where it all started, is from my books. And so I appreciate that, Brian.
Great book.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And so I talk about how to catch live bait there. So if you guys want further detail on that, be sure to check out my book, Harvesting Nature's Bait Shop, on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Definitely check that out. It's also on the Kindle and on audio, so you can listen to that. And so now, Brian, speaking of crayfish, how would I properly hook a crayfish to catch fish with?
Well, you got a couple options. Small crayfish, you can hook them just right in the tail and fish with them whole, especially if you're targeting some bigger fish like bass or catfish. But what I would typically do is I would use the white meat and the tail. So you catch your crawfish and you peel the tail. There's a little shield shells kind of on the back of it, and you just peel them off, and there's white meat under that shell, and you just put a little chunk of that white meat on a small hook, like a number 8 or a number 10 hook, and you just need this a little bitty, the size of a BB. Very small piece of that will catch bluegill very reliably.
Okay,
Wow.
That's neat.
That is good.
And, actually, I was just thinking about this as you were telling me that. You can actually eat crayfish, and so it's actually quite tasty. And so if that's the only thing you got is crayfish, yeah, eat crayfish. Keep a couple crayfish for yourself, eat that, and then take some of that, take some of it, and go catch some fish with it. And so you get even more food. And so that was just an idea that just came to my mind. But and and that's really neat. And definitely, you guys got to catch some crayfish and try that. Catch some bluegill, definitely can do that. So it's super easy to catch bluegill. It's a very tasty food to have in a survival situation. Nice and easy to catch. You can also trap them too if you have any traps on you. And so yeah, bluegill, catching crayfish and bluegill is definitely an effective method to go in survival fishing.
Yeah, I've actually caught some bluegill, and it is kind of a bony fish, but I've filleted it, and it's a really good fish to eat.
It tastes better than most freshwater fish. I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
You'd be definitely lucky to catch that in a survival situation.
Well, so Blake, you keep mentioning survival situations. So probably our viewers, listeners would want to know, why is fishing survival skills so important? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, it's definitely an important skill. First off, let's say I like to hunt. I don't know anything about survival. Or I like to hike, or I like to camp, or even shoot fish. And I go out into the woods or into the wilderness, and I'm just like, I'm going to go hunting and stalk some deer. And so I follow this deer around. Then I find myself lost. I'm going hiking. I take the wrong trail. I find myself lost. I'm going camping. I need to go get some firewood. So I do that. And then I find myself lost without any cell phone reception. Well, it ain't going to do me much good, my cell phone first off. Second off, what am I going to do if I don't know nothing? Well, I'm screwed. And so, henceforth, knowing survival skills is a very important thing, but more specifically, fishing survival skills. Fishing is one of the most effective, outside of trapping. In fact, I compare them pretty close, is the most effective way to collect food. Definitely a lot of protein, a lot of calories in fish. Tastes good, too. And so, catching a bluegill in a survival situation, that's one of the best foods you could catch. It's better than catching a raccoon or a mouse, If you watch some TV shows, you'll see these guys catch mice, and they'll actually eat them. And so, that doesn't sound very pleasant to me. A bluegill sounds quite delightful. So you'd be pretty lucky if you catch a bluegill, even a bass. Bass is more gamey fish, but it tastes better than most things that you'll catch while trapping. And so survival fishing is definitely an effective method to go. It's quick and easy, and you get some good food from it. I enjoy the taste of fish. And anyway, we're running out of time here, and so we'll be on the first commercial break, and guys, stay tuned after these few messages.
Are you one of the millions of Americans that carry a multi-tool or Swiss Army knife? These products are so popular because they combine life's most useful tools into one portable product. Well, now there's a new multi-tool, but for lighting. The MuleLight V2 gives you multiple functions and unprecedented run times in one sleek, durable, compact flashlight. So don't wait. The V2 is in high demand. Reserve the world's most innovative flashlight today. Go to mulelight.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Byran May, founder of Cincy Fisher Baits in Cincinnati, Ohio, serving the needs of bass fishermen in the Midwest and across America. We sell the highest quality baits at reasonable prices for the recreational and tournament bass fishermen. We use premium components like Mustad hooks and Worth ball bearing swivels. We sell most kinds of bass baits, including various jigs like football head, swim jigs, underspins, swing heads, Ned rigs, tube jigs, and more. We sell lots of spinner baits also, including a special finesse spinner bait that excels on highly pressured waters like the Ohio River. You can reach us any time of the day online at cincyfisher.com. That's CINCYFISHER.com. We wish you the best of luck fishing, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Welcome back. I'm glad to have you guys on the show. Again, I'm out here with our new co-host, Dean Colson, and then on the line we have Byran May. And so, Byran, I always ask this question to whatever survivalist or fisherman we have calling the show, just something that I've always done through our 9 podcasts here that we've had in the past few months. And so I always ask this question, what is some essential survival fishing gear that you would have with you in a survival situation?
That's a great question, Blake. You really don't need a lot. I would suggest some light monofilament line somewhere in the 4-pound range. Because you're going to fish clear water. You got to have really light diameter fish. You're targeting small fish. You need some small lead sinkers and some small hooks, number 8 or number 10 bait holding hooks. That's pretty much all you need because you're going to catch your own bait. So that's pretty much all you need.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what went through my mind. So yeah, if you have your own bait, all you really need There's a hook, a sinker, and some line. And I mean, actually, I actually own this product, GearBest.com. They sell this product. It's called, what's it called? Like a mini pin pocket fishing pole. It's really little. It's made in China. I think it's made in China and stuff. It's not. It's kind of exciting and stuff. But it's really small. I mean, it's bigger than an ordinary pin, but it can fit in your pocket. Then you have the reel, so you can put that in your bug out bag. But it's a real nice little fishing pole. It's not the pound test is only 2 pounds. It can't hold more than that. It'll snap right in half. It's pretty thin. But it's a nice little pole to have with you. Of course, you can make a good old-fashioned cane pole from a stick, and that works just as well. But if you want to just be extra prepared, it'd be cool to have that little product. You can get that GearBest.com. It's called like the mini pocket pin fishing pole or something like that. It's pretty cool. It just folds up into this little pin. Yeah. And there you go. So that's something that just hit my mind. But so now, carrying survival gear with you, you got to have it in your bug out bag or survival kit. Or even on your paracord bracelet. It's just something that you need to carry is some fishing gear. It's super easy because all you need is some line, a sinker, and a hook. I mean, I would have more than one sinker and more than one hook, but that's really all you need. And just like you said there, Brian, that's really all you need. And so, now, Brian, I do got another question for you. I always ask this question to a survivalist, fisherman, outdoorsman, hunter. So, I mean, why do you like fishing so much?
You know, I love being outside. I love being on the water. I love the challenge of trying to catch a fish because it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. They don't just jump right in your hand or jump in your boat. So it's a challenge that I enjoy. And there's something always new to learn. You have different seasons, different species you're chasing: bass, panfish, catfish. You have things to deal with around the spawn. So the conditions for fishing are constantly changing. It keeps your mind active. And, you know, I just love being outside. I love the camaraderie, being around other outdoorsmen. It's just one of my favorite things in life.
Yeah, definitely. It's just something that I enjoy doing, and it's really fun. Fishing is a good outdoor pursuit, and it's just something I really like to do.
So, Brian, so Blake talked about how much you were an influence in his life when you took him out fishing. Who influenced you? Who encouraged you about fishing?
Good question, Dean. You know, growing up, our only vacations were camping and fishing. So I'd have to say my father really got me into fishing at a very young age. And, you know, it just took. Every chance I got, I would scoot off to the river, or scoot off to the lake, and I would fish until it was dark. You know, every chance I got. And when we went camping, we always camped on a lake, and I would shuffle down the hillside, and I'd fish all day long. You know.
Yeah, that sounds like your life.
It's kind of a family tradition, and so it's handed down from my dad.
Now, have you passed it on to your children?
You know, I've got 3 daughters, and I have tried so hard to get them interested in fishing, and I just can't. It just did not take.
I definitely know how that's like. I got 7 younger siblings, and I've been trying to get them into the outdoors, and they're like, "Oh, mosquito slap! Go inside! No air conditioning! I'm just like, yep, there's children for you these days, and so they'd rather be moving their thumbs all day than pulling a trigger or pulling back a archery drawstring or casting a line. So we do got mosquitoes, and so bug spray's quite a very good advantage, but that's one way to get kids back into the outdoors.
Well, maybe with grandchildren,
right.
you'll get your opportunity there.
Yeah, maybe. It's,
yeah, maybe so.
Yeah,
I do try to get my, I have some close friends who have some sons, and I fished with them quite a bit, you know, and I try to influence the younger folks to get into the outdoors as much as I can. But my own daughters, not so much so.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, and so that's too bad. But I know you still love them, and so the outdoors is a great place, and so which people would. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Not just fishing, but hunting, camping, survival, hiking. All of that's just absolutely awesome. And so, so Brian, we're talking a little bit about bluegill and stuff, catching bluegill. And so another really awesome fish that I would like to catch in a survival situation. A tasty, big, delicious catfish. I would like to catch one of those in a survival situation. Or shoot, even when I'm not in survival, I'd still like to catch a catfish. And so, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit, how can I catch a catfish in a survival situation?
A catfish is a great catch if you're in a survival situation because they're generally a little bit bigger.
Oh, yeah.
So it might be a little bit more difficult to catch them, but you're going to be rewarded with a bigger meal. Now, catfish are generally going to be right on the bottom of the lake. So you need to fish right on the bottom. And they're going to eat pretty much almost anything. So worms, crawfish, a small, like a cut up fish. If you find one dead, you can cut that up. Pretty much any kind of meat right on the bottom. Catfish they're gonna eat it just fine. And you want to be fed. So they're gonna be right on the bottom, and they're gonna be in a little bit deeper water. So you want to find some water that's 4 to 5 foot, maybe a little bit deeper, and just fish right on the bottom. And when they take it, you're gonna be in for a little bit of a battle.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed. They are a good fight, and they are awesome fight. I mean, absolutely phenomenal fight there. In fact, I fought one the other day, and I just caught it right on the shore, and he just gave me a sick fight. It was like, I think it was about 4-pound catfish. It was absolutely delicious once I battered that thing. Oh, it sounds so good right now. I haven't eaten dinner, and so I'm starving. But catfish is absolutely delicious. So I'd be very fortunate to catch that in a survival situation. And now, what's a very handy thing to have with you while fishing is a bobber. So is there, like, without me carrying a bobber, if I'm in a survival situation, I'm not going to have a bobber. It's not one of those things I really, really need in a survival situation. But if I wanted a bobber, is there any way for me to get one of those in a survival situation?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. To get a what?
Now, in a survival situation, I like bobbers. I mean, when I'm fishing, generally, using a bobber is just a very helpful thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, you're not going to have a whole tackle box with you. So you need a bobber. You have to look to nature, and you can just take a little stick and tie that right to your line, about 2 feet up, and that's gonna be your bobber.
Wow, that's really
neat. So you just wait for that stick to go under, and you got a fish.
I've never thought of that.
Neither have I.
That's great.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
I know sticks float. Obviously, I've seen them floating while I'm fishing in general, but I've never really thought about using it as a bobber. So that's definitely handy. And a lot of times,
anything that floats.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times in a survival situation, for some other reason, we outdoorsmen like to carry duct tape. I don't know. Duct tape's awesome, man. I love duct tape. And orange duct tape is probably the most handy because you can put that on like a knife of yours in case you drop it. That orange just sticks out. And so something that just came to my mind is wrapping that stick with duct tape. Duct tape's generally waterproof, and so that way your natural bobber sticks out more, and it's orange. And so I definitely keep an eye on that. So that's an idea that just came to my mind. But so Brian, another delicious fish I'd like to catch in a survival situation. I definitely don't want to catch a carp. That's not definitely. I mean, I'll take it, but it's not something I really want for dinner. Bass, not in my dinner book. But crappie tastes similar to bluegill. They're panfish too, and so how would I catch that in a survival situation?
Crappie are that's a great panfish. They're usually a little bit bigger than bluegill. They're fairly easy to catch. They really love minnows the best. If you're lucky enough to trap some minnows, you can trap them in a little pool of rocks. You can and just grab them with your hands or make a little trap. They really prefer live fish, but they will occasionally eat a lively nightcrawler or a redworm. And crappie are usually going to be around brush. So you have to find a tree that's down in the water, and they're going to be right down in that brush. And the good thing about crappie is when you find one, you'll find a whole bunch because they are generally schooled up in big schools. There might be 50 or 100 right around one little tree.
Yeah, I've heard that several times, and I've caught crappie before. It's not one of the things I catch all the time, but I think it was about 11 inches, so it was decent sized, and so it's quite tasty. I ended up eating it. Tastes pretty similar to bluegill. Quite tasty. Something I would like to catch in a survival situation. But yeah, definitely, if you want crappie, there you go, get some minnows. And so it's something that you definitely want to do there. So yeah, thanks Brian for really coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Thanks for talking to us about survival fishing. It's definitely an effective method of collecting food in the survival situation. So Brian, I appreciate you again coming on the show. Thanks for influencing my life and creating me to be outdoors, and that one moment led me up to what I am now. And I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
It's been a pleasure being on your show. It's been a pleasure being part of your life and getting you involved in fishing. And Dean, it's been a pleasure talking with you also.
Yeah, definitely a pleasure, and a lot of good insight on fishing and survival skills. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. You take care now, all right?
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Well, I appreciate Brian coming on the show. He did a great job there, and I really do appreciate Brian having a great influence in my life. And so Brian has done just a lot of things for me in my life, so I just really appreciate it. So guys, if you're interested in sponsoring our show here at the Outdoors and Art Radio Show, you can send me an email at advertising@artofanoutdoorsman.com. Again, advertising@artofanoutdoorsman.com. Or you can call us at 513-279-2096. Again, 513-279-2096. Also, you can check out our website, our radio show website, at www.radioshow.artofanoutdoorsman.com. And so definitely check that out. Or you can check out our outdoor media site, www.artofanoutdoorsman.com. Be sure that's art, as in painting, and outdoors man, not men. That's a pretty common mistake. Also, you can check out some of my books, The Outdoorsman's Bible, RC Nature's Bait Shop, and then my newest book, More Than Just a Rat Trap. Be sure to check that out. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to check us out there. And thanks, guys, for tuning in the show. I'm looking forward to bringing you a new show next week.